Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another live streaming of tax training. And tonight, our topic would be tax updates, no? Mag-updates na lang tayo kasi ang dami natin dapat na i-update sa inyo. Itong Revenue Regulations 13-2021, ito yung penalty provisions ng train law, no? And then, itong RR 14-2021, ito yung nag-suspend ng implementation ng 5-2021, no? On proprietary educational institutions, sinuspend. And yung RR 15-2021, ito yung dinefer niya yung implementation ng RR 9-2021, yung BAT, no? Transactions. Yung dami nagreklamo kasi yung mga PESA registered na yung kanilang constructive export na dati zero rated, ngayon subject to VAT. Dinefer, no? Dinefer yung 9-2021, dinefer yan ng 15-2021. But I don't know how to go about it kasi nasa batas yun eh, no? Nasa create law. So, pwede ba yan na isuspend ng RR? No? Yun naman yung aking opinion. Pwede ba na isuspend yun ng revenue regulations? Nandyan sa batas yun, provisions. And then, we have yung RMC 90-2021 on the guidelines ng utilization ng tax payment certificate dito sa Comprehensive Automotive Resurgence Surgery Program. Okay, so, shout out, Hari.
Hello, good evening po sa lahat. Shout out po kay Ma'am Julie Principe.
Okay.
Good evening daw po kay Ma'am Janet Alusiman.
Okay.
And kay Ma'am Eunice Punsalan from Quezon Province.
Okay.
Kay Alvin C. Good evening daw po.
Okay.
Kay Ma'am Lilian Yao, shout out po.
Always talaga si Ma'am Lilian Yao.
Pati po kay Ann Kawikaan.
Okay.
Kay Sir Eugene Cruz po, shout out.
Okay.
Kay Ina Official from Pangasinan. And kay Mark Corona. Kay Lisa Soronda and Liana Viloria. Good evening daw po.
Okay.
Sila pa lang po.
Okay, so good evening and thank you very much. Meron na po tayong 23,100, no, na subscribers, samantalang 22,600, 700 yung nakita ko nung kanina o kahapon. And then ngayon, 23,000 na. Ang bilis, no? And then ang daming views doon sa video patungkol sa kaso ni Senator Manny Pacquiao. Ang dami palang nakatingin. Samantalang yung ginawa ko doon is parang sinundan ko lang yung flow ng case, no? Parang kinuwento mo lang na ito yung nangyari. So, ito yung case. And ang dami pala nanonood siguro dahil ngayon nga yung parang na well-known, no, na pag-usapan si Senator Manny Pacquiao. So, damay yung ating channel, no? So, daming nanonood. So, nagkaroon din tayo ng maraming subscribers. So, thank you very much, no? Ang bilis nung pagdami ng subscribers. Kasi, tinitingnan ko yung mga kasabayan ko rin na nagtatax lecture din about taxation, yung mga tax topics, no? Mahina talaga. Kahit sa international, hindi ganun kasikat yung mga topics about taxation, no? Kaya parang natuwa naman ako dahil ang bilis na dumami yung subscribers. Yun pala, tungkol pala doon sa case ni Senator Manny Pacquiao. So, pasalamat ako doon sa mga subscribers natin, no? Thank you very much. And so we'll start with our tax updates, no? So ano tong tax updates natin? This is about, umpisa tayo sa 13-2021. What is this Revenue Regulations 13-2021? No, ito yung nag-implement ng penalty provisions. Yung mga penalties ito, mga sinasabi dito, no? Under the train law. And mapapansin natin, under the train law, tinaasan yung mga penalties. Parang pinabigat yung mga penalties, no? Section 2 ng Revenue Regulations 13-21, ito yung penalty on the attempt to evade or defeat tax. Ibig sabihin, nag-attempt ka na itago mo o ayaw mong bayaran yung tax mo, no? Magkano yung penalty or yung multa? A fine of not less than 500,000 pesos. No? So 500,000 na ang multa. But not more than 10 million pesos. No? So 500 to 10 million. And imprisonment, no? May kulong pa na 6 years but not more than 10 years. Shall upon conviction, kasi hindi naman po i-impose isang tao ang penalty kung hindi mo na siya convicted in court. Kaya filean mo na siya ng kaso sa korte para kung ano man yung magiging verdict sa kanya o yung decision sa kanya, yung judgment sa kanya, saka siya makulong, no? Kung kulong yung pagka-penalize sa kanya. So upon conviction, i-convict mo na siya ng court. Be imposed on any person who willfully attempts in any manner to evade or defeat any tax imposed under the NIRC or the payment thereof, no? So ang multa 500,000 to 10 million, ang kulong 6 years to 10 years, no? So yun yung hindi nagbabayad ng tamang tax. The fine and penalty stated shall be in addition to other penalties provided for by law. So aside from i-assess ka nung dapat mong bayaran, iba pa itong multa, dagdag lang to na penalty, no? The conviction or acquittal obtained for violation of this section shall not be a bar to the filing of civil suit for the collection of taxes. Halimbawa naman, hindi ka na prove na willful talaga yung ginawa mo na hindi ka nagbayad ng tax. Na-acquit ka doon sa criminal liability mo, pero tuloy pa rin yung civil liability. Ano yun? I-collect pa rin yung tax na hindi mo nabayaran. And of course, may mga surcharge interest compromise yun. Another provision here, penalty, no? Section 3, violations related to the printing of receipts or invoices. Ito naman yung sa mga resibo, no? Magkano naman? Fine of not less than 500,000. So 500,000 yung penalty. Nor more than 10 million pesos. So ganun din. 500,000 to 10 million pesos. Imprisonment of not less than 6 years but not more than 10 years. Ano yung mga violations? Number 1, printing of receipts or sales or commercial invoices without authority from the BIR. Ibig sabihin, gumawa ka lang ng resibo na walang authority. Why? Because ano ba dapat sa resibo? Dapat sa resibo, dadaan sa BIR, may permit to print receipts, no? Or authority to print receipts. And then number 2, printing of double or multiple sets of invoices or receipts. Ano yung multiple sets of invoices or receipts? Halimbawa, nagpa-imprinta ka ng 100 na booklets, no? Tapos ang serial number niya 001 to 100,000. Yun ang serial number. Nagpa-imprinta ka ulit, the same 100 booklets, the same din na number, no? So yun ang ibig sabihin niya na multiple sets of invoices. You are printing a receipts with the same number, no? Next is printing of unnumbered receipts, wala namang number, or sales or commercial invoices not bearing the name, business style, taxpayer identification number, and business address of the person or entity. Nagpagawa ka lang ng resibo, pero wala yung kailangan na mga information doon sa resibo. At ano-ano yung mga information na dapat na sa resibo? Yung, patayin mo muna yung ventilador kasi napupunta sa yung hangin. Sakit sa tiyan. Okay. Nandyan yung dapat yung name, business style, taxpayer identification number, business address. Yun yung mga importante na information sa resibo. And then next is printing of other fraudulent receipts or sales or commercial invoices. Ano yung mga fraudulent receipts? Yung fictitious, no? Fictitious na mga businesses. Nagpiprint ka ng resibo. So that is punishable. Another violations, no? Section 4, failure to transmit sales data. Ano yung transmit sales data? Kasi require na tayo doon sa submission natin, no? Or e-sales, no? So a penalty amounting to 1/10 of 1% of the annual net income as reflected in the taxpayer's audited financial statement for the second year preceding the current taxable year, or 10,000, whichever is higher, shall be imposed for its day of violation. So, 10,000 per day. On any taxpayers required, no? Ni-require siya but fail to transmit sales data to the Bureau's electronic sales reporting. Ito yung mga may cash register machine, no? Point of sale machine. Ni-require sila, binigyan sila ng permit to use cash register machine, but they have to submit their sales data electronically. Ito yung electronic sales reporting system, no? Under Section 237A of the NIRC as amended. An additional penalty of permanent closure of the taxpayer, no, permanent closure, so hindi na siya makapag-business, shall be imposed should the aggregate number of days of violation exceed 180 days. Pagka 180 days na yung violations mo, hindi mo sinisettle within the taxable year, yung 180 days, 6 months yan, no, kalahating taon. So, tuloy-tuloy yung penalty mo, hindi mo sinettle, then you will be closed permanently. The penalty shall not apply if the failure to transmit is due to force majeure or any cause beyond the control of the taxpayer. Kaya nga, kung reasonable yung reason, then hindi siya ma-close, no? Another violation, Section 5, purchase, use, possession, sale, or offer to sell, installation, transfer, update, upgrade, keeping or maintaining of sales operation devices. Ano itong mga sales operation devices? Ito yung mga software na ilalagay mo sa computerized accounting system na yung ibang sales, ida-divert niya, no? O, kaya may mga ilalagay ka doon sa cash register machine, doon sa point of sale machine, wherein yung sales, hindi lahat papasok, no? So, a fine of not less than 500,000 pesos but not more than 10 million. So, ito na yung pinaka-minimum nila ng mga penalties, no? 500,000 to 10 million. And imprisonment of not less than 2 years but not more than 4 years. Ma-iksi yung number of years na imprisonment, no? Kasi yung dun sa ibang penalties, 6 years to not more than 10 years. Dito, 2 years lang but not more than 4 years. Shall be imposed on any person who shall purchase, use, possess, sell, or offer to sell, install, transfer, update, upgrade, keep, or maintain any software or device designed for or is capable of, no? Ito yun. Suppressing the creation of electronic records of sale transactions that a taxpayer is required to keep under existing tax laws and or regulations, or modifying, hiding, or deleting electronic records of sales transactions and providing a ready means of access to them, no? So, yun yung acts or omission, no, na punishable. So the maximum penalty provided for in this section shall apply in case of cumulative suppression of electronic sales record in excess of the amount of 50 million, which shall be considered as economic sabotage. So kung yung nasuppress niya na sales is 50 million na, hindi na pwede yung penalty na nasabi, but already maximum penalty, no? Kasi economic sabotage na yung 50 million. Imagine, no? Ang hindi mo ni-report na sales is 50 million, and how much is the tax component of 50 million when it comes to income and value-added tax, no? Ay, malaki. Another offense, no, related to fuel marking. Ano tong fuel marking? Ito yung sa fuel, no, mga yung gasolina, diesel, no? Na there is a requirement under the train law na magkakaroon ng markings yung mga fuel in order na ma-determine sila na talagang itong mga fuels na to dumaan at binayaran yung tax, no? That's why mayroong markings in order to regulate or makita mo kung saan at ano itong mga product na to dumaan ba talaga sila sa proseso, no? Kasi may marking sila. Okay. So, related to fuel markings, engaging in the sale, trade, delivery, distribution, or transportation of unmarked fuel in commercial quantity. Itong mga, since required sa mga fuel natin na there is a marking, no? Kasi ang marking, lalagyan niya ng parang chemicals din na ihalo siya doon sa fuel, and then malalaman mo na itong fuel na to, dumaan to sa proseso kasi may naka-mix na ibang chemicals, no? So, if you engage in the sale, trade, delivery, or distribution ng fuel na walang markings, ano naman yung penalty mo? First offense is 2,500,000. Second offense, 5 million. Third offense, 10 million. Third offense is with penalty of revocation of license to engage in any trade or business. So aside from that, may penalty ka na 10 million, revoke pa yung license mo to operate or engage in business. And then causing the removal of the official fuel marking agent from the marked fuel and the adulteration or dilution of fuel intended for sale to the domestic market or the knowing possession, storage, transfer, or offer for sale of fuel obtained as a result of such removal, adulteration, or dilution. So, you cause the removal ng official fuel marking, no? May fuel marking na yung fuel, and then tinanggal mo pa, no? Nung tinanggal mo siya, may madinagdagan na sarili mong mga chemicals, no? And then nag-dilute ka ng fuel. So, anong penalty? First offense, 2,500,000. Second offense, 5 million. Third offense, 10 million. And with penalty of revocation of license. No? So, yun yung violations dun sa fuel markings. Next is willfully inserting, placing, adding, or attaching directly or indirectly through any overt or covert act whatever quantity of any unmarked fuel, counterfeit additive, or chemical in the person, house, effects, inventory, or in the immediate vicinity of an innocent individual for the purpose of implicating, incriminating, or imputing the commission of any violation of offenses related to fuel marking. No? So, gawa mo para madama yung iba doon sa crime of fuel markings. No? So, magkano naman ang penalty? A fine of 5 million, but not more than 10 million, and imprisonment of not less than 4 years, but not more than 8 years. No? Yan yung mga willfully, no? Parang fraud, talagang sinadya. No? Nag-insert, nag-place, or add ng unmarked fuel, no? Or yung mga counterfeit na additive or chemicals. Okay. Another violation, making, importing, selling, using, or possessing fuel markers without express authority. Kasi yung magbibigay ng marking sa fuel, accredited lang po yan ng government. At sino ang kukuha nun? The government. So kung ikaw hindi ka naman accredited na fuel marker, and then meron kang gamit for fuel marking, then you will be fined or you will be penalized. No? A fine of 1 million but not more than 5 million, and imprisonment of not less than 4 years but not more than 8 years. No? So yun ang penalty dun sa nagbebenta ng fuel markers without authority. Making, importing, selling, using, or possessing counterfeit fuel markers. Yung counterfeit fuel markers naman, meron ka, tapos ginamit mo, then the penalty is also 1 million but not more than 5 million, and then imprisonment of 4 years but not more than 8 years. Another is causing another person or entity to commit any of the two preceding acts, no? Parang in-encourage mo yung ibang tao para gawin yung mga violations, no? Doon sa importing, selling ng fuel markings. So, ang penalty, fine of 1 million but not more than 5 million, imprisonment of 4 years but not more than 8 years. Another is causing the sale, distribution, supply, or transport of legitimately imported in-transit, manufactured, or procured controlled precursors and essential chemicals in diluted mixtures or in concentrated form to any person or entity penalized in A, B, D, E, and F hereof, including but not limited to packaging, repacking, labeling, relabeling, or concealment of such transaction through fraud, destruction of documents, no? Sinira mo yung mga dokumento. Fraudulent use of permits, misdeclaration, use of front companies, or mail fraud. No? So, magkano penalty? 1 million but not more than 5 million. Imprisonment of 4 years but not more than 8 years. Any person who is authorized, licensed, or accredited to conduct fuel test, who issues false or fraudulent fuel, ito naman accredited siya, no? Pero nag-issue naman siya ng fraudulent fuel test. Knowingly, willfully, or through gross negligence, shall suffer the additional penalty of imprisonment ranging from 1 year and 1 day to 2 years and 6 months. No? So the additional penalties of revocation of license to practice his profession in case of practitioner and the closure of the fuel testing facility may also be imposed at the instance of the court. No? Okay. The penalties stated herein for offenses related to fuel markings are in addition to the penalties imposed in Title 10 of the NIRC as amended. Section 1401 of Republic Act number 10863, otherwise known as the Customs Modernization and Tariff Act, and other relevant laws. No? So yun po yung ating Revenue Regulations 13-21 that deals with the violations, no? Penalty provisions ng train law natin when it comes to violations ng mga fuel markings, no? About the receipts, no? Okay, may shout out, Hari? No, sige. At saka questions kung meron na before we proceed to the next natin na lecture. Okay.
Shoutout po kay Sir Ryan Deocades.
Okay.
Kay Ma'am LV Galanido.
Okay. Thank you.
Apo. Kay Sir Jojo Trimor.
Okay.
Kay Roel Bestor.
Okay.
Kay Mark Corona.
Okay.
And then shoutout din po kay Janet Manayon.
Okay.
Lily Salvacion. Alma D.
Okay.
Ito po kay Ma'am Jonaline Bonlang.
Okay.
Kay Joy Aquino and kay Sir Ariel San Pedro.
Very good.
May isang question na Ma'am.
Okay,
galing-
sige.
Apo,
Sige.
galing po kay-
Good evening po, no, sa lahat ng viewers natin. Thank you very much.
Apo.
Sige, question.
Apo. Galing po kay Mark Corona.
Okay.
Meron po ba tayong tinatawag na double taxation dito sa Pinas? Double taxation like tax ng national government at tax ng local government?
Okay, sige. Pag sinabi po kasi na double taxation, meron ding nangyayari na double taxation, no? Pero yung talagang technical na double taxation ay wala po. Bakit? Kasi pag sinabi mo na double taxation, 2 beses mo tinax yung isang subject to tax na same tax with the same tax at the same time and at the same income, no? Pero kung ang tax na inimpose mo is national tax at saka local tax, hindi mo siya pwedeng tawagin na double taxation kasi yung tax ng national at saka yung tax ng national magkaiba. Pwede mo siyang tawagin na double taxation kung the same tax inimpose mo sa isang taxpayer. magkaibang tax inimpose mo sa isang taxpayer on that same income, hindi po siya pwede tawagin na double taxation. Technically. Pero yung sabi mo na double taxation siya, kasi tinax na siya ng national, tinax pa siya ng local. No? So yun siguro yung pwede nating sabihin na double taxation. But technically, it's not. No? Double taxation. Technically. Pero yung sabi mo na double taxation siya, kasi tinax na siya ng national, tinax pa siya ng local.
Question, ma'am, kung meron daw bang nabago sa 2550M at 2550Q?
Actually, wala naman po. Pero yung sale to government lang siguro because yung sale to government, instead of final tax siya, nagiging creditable, no? So, parang wala nang effect yung dating treatment na yung pag may excess ka na input tax, i-charge mo sa expense, no? Or sa income and summary. Pero ngayon wala na because it is like sale to private na rin, no? Yun lang siguro yung pagbabago. Pero sa iba, wala naman po nabago sa VAT. Okay.
Wala na pong tanong, ma'am. Shoutout po kay Ma'am Rodora Constantino.
Okay. Sige. So, we have discussed the RR 13-2021. Ito namang RR 14-2021. Ito yung sinuspend niya yung implementation ng provisions ng 5-2021. Ano yung 5-2021? Ito yung income tax rate, no, ng regular income of corporation at saka yung certain passive income. At saka ito yung mga additional allowable deductions ng gross income ng persons engaged in the practice or business or practice of profession, no? Ito yung implementing regulations ng CREATE law, no? Kasi revenue regulation siya 5-2021. Ano yung sinuspend ng 14-2021 dito sa 5-2021? Ito yung section 2C sa definition ng proprietary educational institution, no? Ang nakalagay diyan na which are non-profit. So sinuspend nila 'yon. And then the definition of the non-profit in so far as it applies to proprietary educational institution. So yung provisions na para sa educational institution, yun lang po yung nasuspend, no? And also the section 3, which provides illustration on the tax treatment of proprietary educational institutions that are non-profit, no? So nasuspend din po yun. Okay, so yun lang yung provisions ng 5-2021 that has been suspended. So wala munang guidelines or regulations para sa proprietary educational institution. Okay. Ito yung parang pinakahihintay ng marami, no? Ito yung Revenue Regulations 15-2021, which differ the implementation of Revenue Regulations 9-2021. Ano naman tong 9-2021? Ito yung implement the imposition of 12% value-added tax on transactions covered by Section 106A2A, no, subparagraph 3-4. Ito yung mga constructive export, no, especially yung mga purchases ng raw materials na binili dito lang sa local and then binenta doon sa PESA registered enterprises, no? Dati na zero rated, ngayon subject to VAT na. Pero dinifer siya nitong 15-2021, no? Yun lang ang comment ko diyan. Papaano i-amend na revenue regulations yung provision ng CREATE law. Kasi doon sa CREATE law, yun yung nagbigay na subject to VAT na po yung mga constructive export. So, kasi ang regulations naman is only implementing, pero hindi niya pwedeng i-defer yung implementation ng batas, no? Hindi natin ano yan, not unless na i-amend nila with another law, no? Okay. So, wait and see po tayo dyan sa 9-2021. Okay. Pero ang sabi naman ng iba, magkakaroon ng Revenue Memorandum Circular yung BIR in order na maklarify yung mga issues on 9-2021. Okay. So, ito namang 90-2021 na specific guidelines, procedures, utilization ng tax payment certificate. Ano tong tax payment certificate, no? Under the comprehensive Automotive Resurgence Strategy or CARS program. No, so ano naman tong tax payment certificate, no? Ng Comprehensive Automotive Resurgence Strategy Program. Ito yung parang tulong, no, dahil nga sa pandemic, no? So the circular is hereby issued to provide specific guidelines and procedures on the utilization of the tax payment certificate issued as a fiscal support, no, yung support sa industry, to the registered and eligible participating car makers, participating parts makers, and shared testing service providers, collectively called eligible and registered participants or ERPs, under the Comprehensive Automotive Resurgence Strategy Program of Executive Order number 182 series of 2015. The implementing guidelines for the TPC mechanism have been prescribed by DOF, DBMBOI Joint Administrative Order number 1-2015 dated November 16, 2015 as circularized by Revenue Memorandum Circular 65-2018. Revenue Regulations number 12-2021 has already been issued on June 23, 2021, prescribing the general policies and guidelines on the availment and utilization of the ERPs of the TPC. No? The guidelines of all ARPs, BIR revenue personnel, and other stakeholders, the specific guidelines and procedures in the form of questions and answer shall be complied with regarding the use of TPC as payment of internal revenue tax liabilities of the concerned ERPs. Okay, so what is a tax payment certificate? No? Tax payment certificate or TPC refers to a non-transferable certificate which shall be used to defray the tax and duty obligations of the ERPs to the national government. No? Ano yung ERPs? Eligible and registered participants. No? Okay. Who shall request for the issuance of TPC and from what office shall it be requested? The ARP or the eligible registered participant shall request from DTI BOI for the issuance of TPC or tax payment certificate based on the statutory deadlines for payment of tax and or duty. What internal revenue taxes shall be paid by the ARP using the TPC, no? Yung tax payment certificate. The TPC shall only be applied against the excise tax, income tax, and value-added tax liabilities. Yung tatlong taxes lang na yan, doon pwede gamitin yung TPC or tax payment certificate, no? So, income tax, excise tax, value-added tax. Okay. Incurred in the course of the ARP's operation and shall not include any type of withholding taxes. Oh, so hindi kasama yung withholding. How will the ARPs accomplish the tax return using the TPC? The amount of the TPC shall be indicated in the tax return as deduction from the tax due of the ERPs. No? So specifically indicate the phrase TPC and its corresponding amount in the boxes provided for in the line item of the tax return which states the phrase other tax credit or payments, located immediately after the line item stating tax due. No? So, pwedeng gamitin yung tax payment certificate in the payment of tax liabilities, pero yung tatlo lang, excise, income, and value-added tax. No? In the case the amount of TPC exceeds the tax due, net of the creditable taxes, the excess shall not be considered or treated as refundable amount. Okay. So, yung sobra, kung may sobra man doon sa tax payment certificate, hindi siya pwede na i-refund, no? Where will the tax return be filed and the corresponding tax be paid? The accomplished tax return shall be filed using the electronic filing and payment system, EFPS, no? Or EBIR forms package. So, doon pwede siyang i-file. As the case may be, in case the tax due is more than the amount of the TPC, the tax still due shall be paid using the available modes of payment of the BIR. The printed hard copy of the duly filed tax returns together with the BIR copy of the TPC and other prescribed attachments shall be submitted to the Revenue District Office, RDO, Large Taxpayers Division Office, LTDO, or LT Documents Processing and Quality Assurance Division, no, LTD PQAD, of the Large Taxpayer Service, where the ERP are duly registered pursuant to existing revenue guidelines and procedures. So, doon siya ipa-file, no? The ERP's copy of the TPC shall be retained by them. The BIR copy of the TPC shall be used for recording purposes in the collection books of the BIR. Kasi ang BIR din naman yung nag-issue no, no? So, what is the validity period of tax payment certificate? A TPC shall have a validity period of 30 days, counted from the date of issue, and can only be used once. No? Minsan lang siyang gamitin. The date indicated on the face of the TPC shall be presumed to be the date of issuance. Okay. In the event that a TPC is not presented or utilized for tax payment to the BIR, the ERPs should immediately surrender and return the original copy of the TPC to DTI-BOI for reinstatement in the PCMIA, no? Participating Carmaker Incentive Account, provided that the surrender thereof is made within the validity period of the TPC. Otherwise, the same shall be forfeited in favor of the government. Okay. How shall the BIR validate the TPC which was attached by the ERPs to their tax returns? The collection section of the RDO and LTDO as well as the LTD PQAD, where the ERPs are duly registered, can view and validate the TPCs through an online facility of the DTI-BOI. No? The DTI-BOI shall inform the Assistant Commissioner or ASER Collection Service of the BIR of any additional eligible and registered participant. The ASER Collection Service, on the other hand, shall inform the DTI-BOI of the names of the revenue officer who shall be duly authorized to access the online facility. The head of said office shall assign a revenue officer who is authorized to access the online facility and validate the TPCs. How shall the amount of TPC be recorded by the BIR as part of the revenue collection? Okay, so paano siya i-record na collection? The BIR copy of the TPC shall be transmitted by the RDO, LTDO, or LTD, PQAD, as the case may be, on Tuesday of every week to the Revenue Accounting Division, or RAD, which shall record the amount of the TPC in the collection books pursuant to existing procedures. The RAD shall prepare a monthly report, Annex A, of revenue collection from TPCs for transmittal to the Bureau of Treasury not later than 10 days after every calendar month. So, monthly ang reporting, no, ng TPC. Okay? So, yung tax payment certificate, incentive niya na binigay doon sa mga comprehensive automotive, no? Yung para sa magamit nila in the payment of their tax liabilities. Okay? Shout out, Hari. Sige. Question mo na.
Isang tanong ma'am galing kay Ma'am Rodora Constantino.
Okay.
Sa 2550M po ba, need na rin daw ng South attachment? 50M VAT.
VAT. Wala pong attachment, no? Ang VAT. Wala pong attachment ang VAT. Kahit na yung quarterly, no? Ang hindi naman attachment kasi yung summary list of sales and purchases, because the summary list of sales and purchases, sinasubmit yun, hiwalay doon sa quarterly VAT, no? Wala po siyang attachment. Kaya sinasabi lang dyan na attach additional sheet if necessary. Kung may mga information ka na ilalagay doon sa mga fields, no, ng form na sumobra o hindi kasya, kaya allowed ka to attach additional sheet, no?
Yung lahat po ng sales from government at private sales, need mag-fill up ng South?
South yung
Withholding tax.
Summary alpha list of withholding taxes.
Sales.
Ay, hindi po. Hindi po. Yung South kasi, summary alpha list of withholding taxes, yung requirement dyan, sa compensation yan, sa salary, no? Kasi ang sa expanded naman, yun yung MAP or monthly alpha list of payes, no? So yung sinasabi mong South, hindi po yan kailangan sa VAT, no? Hindi po yan kailangan na gumawa ka niyan and i-attach mo yung South, no? Hindi po kailangan. Kasi ang South, ina-attach yan sa 1604 CF para sa alpha list, no? And usually, ang sabi nga dyan, quarterly isasubmit, pero usually yung iba, annually, no? Ang pasasubmit nila. Okay, next.
Wala na po. Shoutout lang po.
Okay, sige, shout out.
Shoutout po kay Violi Peralta. Good evening daw po. And
Okay.
kay Ma'am Rosalina Tune, maayong gabi daw, ma'am.
Maayong gabi.
From Cebu City.
Sige, maayong gabi, no? Sa mga taga Cebu. Fine ngayon, wala na masyadong ulan, no? Tsaka hangin. But for almost 2 weeks, talagang grabe talaga, no? Sa ilang taon na ako dito, yun yung pinaka ulan at pinakamahangin na experience ko. No? Sobrang lakas. Pumapasok yung tubig dito sa loob at saka yung hangin sobra talaga, no? Kahit bato pa yung tinitirhan mo, naaalog pa rin. Grabe. Okay? So, ito na yung Revenue Regulations 5-2021 natin. Ito yung implementing ng income tax rate ng regular income tax at saka yung passive income, no? Including allowable deductions at saka gross income. So, Revenue Regulations 5-2021, pero anong tawag dito? Yung provisions ng proprietary educational institutions dito, sinuspend siya ng 13-2021, no? Ay, hindi. 14-2021. No? So, sinuspend na siya dito. Ito yung proprietary educational institutions. Okay? Na-discuss na natin itong mga tax rates na to dun sa mga previous pa natin na live streaming, no? Kung itong mga rates ng corporation na 25%, 20%, kailan, umpisa, at saka yung MCIT na 1%, no? Okay. We have discussed this already. So, wala ng question? Ano? Okay. So, meron pa po tayong 6-day webinar, no? Bukas. Sama pa yan, hanggang Agosto pa yan eh. And then we have also our second dose ng Sinovac vaccine po bukas alas 8 ng umaga. So, I would like to say thank you po sa lahat and have a nice evening everyone, no? Thank you very much.